Hi guys. Um, so for my speech, I'm doing it on same-sex relationships through Native American and American history. So Two-Spirit is an umbrella term used by Native Americans to describe their people that are gay. These Two-Spirit people were often the visionaries, the healers, the medicine people, and caregivers. Others in their communities respected them as they were important and fundamental to their society. While researching Two Spirited and what the term meant, it was very beautiful and an accepting phrase to use for someone from the LGBT community. However, it is important to realize that this term is only applicable to Native Americans who identify with that term. So, tribes usually had rituals to determine if a child was truly two spirited or not. No matter the case, everyone was treated with the same acceptance and understanding. They were also thought to be people of power in some cases because they had qualities of both masculinity and femininity on their side. They were thought to serve a new perspective or understanding because of it. Not only does Two Spirit apply to sexuality, but it also ties in a lot with um, gender identity as well. Um, so colonization changed the Native American community drastically. Colonization introduced religions that denied homosexuality, laws against sodomy, and other such laws against same-sex relationships. So these crimes were punishable by death, and the government would use people's death sentences to establish national power. These deaths were also used as examples of what would happen if a certain religious faith, and in this case, it was Christianity, was not followed. So clothing. So in this case, in early American history, Europeans dressed in clothing articles that were very much gender specific. There was not any unisex clothing or blurring of the binaries as there is today. Because there were such heavy repercussions, people would go to drastic lengths to express themselves or do what was necessary. Women would disguise themselves as men to fight in the war or pursue a certain career that they would not usually get because they were women. Theater became a safe haven for gay men because it was the only acceptable time that they could be able to act or dress feminine publicly because back then there was no women allowed in theater and it was just men and they could pretend to be women. Next, we have immigration. As Native Americans were physically affected by colonizers, their viewpoints had also changed. Um, Europeans had instilled their homophobic views into them, and Native Americans were no longer open or accepting of sexuality and different gender identities. It became a sort of taboo to talk about. This brought negativity in the mindsets of two-spirited Native Americans as they were stripped of their true identity. Because of reservations and the near genocide of Native Americans, not only did two-spirited communities suffer, but so did um, the entire Native American community as a whole. And what really brought change to the American gay rights movement was Stonewall Inn. So as time went on, the LGBT community throughout America was fighting for their freedom. They were kept in the background and had to operate underground. There were a few activists fighting in the forefront, but for the most part, many people feared getting arrested or killed. What truly sparked the gay rights movement was Stonewall Uprising. The Stonewall Inn, located in Greenwich Village, is a gay bar that was very inclusive and remains so today. In 1969, NYPD raided the bar. Everyone that was there started throwing objects at the officers because they were just tired of being continually targeted and harassed. The raid sparked a historical riot that lasted for days. The actions and violence ensued at Stonewall sparked outrage across the nation. It led to activist groups and organizations across the US that would begin the gay rights movement. And as for organizations on the Native American side, in recent years, there have been dozens of Two-Spirit organizations throughout the nation. Although these organizations show promise, today's reservations are underfunded and rampant with poverty. Reservations actually fall under federal jurisdiction, and because of this, the Native American community as a whole struggles to thrive. While a large number of tribes allow two-spirited couples to marry, there are still some tribes that do not. And finally, we have, modern society and how same-sex relationship today is. And even though, gay marriage was legalized, queer people still get harassed and hurt. By reclaiming the word queer, the LGBTQ community continues to persevere and remind everyone that they will not stop fighting for their freedoms. The Native American community has also done this with the term two-spirited. They have reclaimed the word and hold powwows and gatherings to celebrate their culture and identity. Okay, thank you.